Hey there, welcome back guys. This video is going to be about needing a permit to fly your drone. That's right, you got your Part 107 and you saw all those ads that said, hey, get your Part 107 so that you could fly anywhere. It's not necessarily the case. Sometimes you have to call into, well, all the time when I fly, I call into dispatch to make sure I can and there's no ordinance. I also call the municipality to make sure there's no ordinance or to make sure that this is not necessary because some towns won't let you land or take off unless you have a permit. If you look at this picture, I'm going to throw it in right there, you'll see the cops showed up, but I had checked in with them beforehand knowing that I had to. So basically when they give you the permit, you're required to check in with dispatch the day of the flight and they ask you if you're coming back. I said, yeah, I may come back next week or next month, whatever, because the permit lasts 30 days. And given that the time that we're in, next month is probably next week. And I think there's still a 2-week window left on this particular permit. But the permit also specifies where you can land and take off. It says Westwood Avenue from Veterans Park. So I have clear way of the particular strip, the train station to Five Corners, which is great. So you actually have to specify where you want to fly, why you want to fly, and then the town meets and the mayor. That's right, the mayor. You get to meet the mayor. The mayor approves it, and they will approve it. You know, you just submit your credentials, your Part 107, or if you don't have your 107, the trust certificate, and any other additional courses you might have taken for drone safety. You know, helps to your advantage because this backstory behind that is that there was once a broker taking pictures, right, of the listing that they had, and everything was going fine until I guess they lost control of the drone, and there was a kid playing in the yard and hit the kid and hurt the kid next door. Apparently there was an ambulance with her and everything, you know, because this thing can hurt, especially a child. If you don't have propeller guards, if you're a broker or a newbie, not knowing, you know, what you need to fly in certain areas, this can do some damage. And so basically after that incident, the town went to town in enforcing the drone rules. So basically, you know, they own the town and they run the town and they're going to run it the way they want. So always make sure before you fly that not only the before you app says you're good to go, but there is also no ordinance. And calling dispatch, which is, you know, the 911, isn't always enough because sometimes you have to call the municipality because sometimes the municipality will have the rules listed, but dispatch might not know. And a lot of times, sometimes you'll hear on one of these calls I'm going to submit that I had made recently that not all the time they'll know. They'll put you on hold. They'll be like, let me check, let me find out.
Hello, sir. Still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Thank you.
Sorry for the wait. Thank you for
No,
holding.
it's fine. No, it's all good.
I just looked it up. We don't have any drone ordinance per se
Okay.
at this time, but there are different state regulations and FAA regulations and
Right.
specific rules that you'll have to follow, and there's specific places that you could take off, land, where you can fly over, where you can't.
Right.
And you should be all set as long as you're good with all those guidelines and you're good with the regulations and all the rules, and you're totally fine.
Nice. This is good to know. All right. Yeah, because I just dropped my kids off at the soccer field, and it's really beautiful. Like, that would be a nice aerial shot.
Oh, you'll get some very good shots over there.
Yeah.
Very nice, the scenic look from it.
Yeah. It's just phenomenal. Alrighty. Wow.
Okay,
Thanks a bunch.
wonderful.
Okay.
Absolutely. Enjoy taking your pictures and seeing all the cool sights.
Thanks. Appreciate it. All right.
Take care.
Sure. Bye.
And you want to know because the last thing you want to do is be in an area where the cops do show up and there's that one cop who does know that there's an ordinance and it's enforced, and you know, maybe you might not get arrested, but they may take your drone and fine you. I just couldn't imagine going to prison for something like this, but you know, you never know what town you're in. Maybe I'll just go in my pajamas. And then if I do get arrested, I can ask for a transfer. Because you ever see One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? They gave them pajamas. Crazy people, they got pajamas. Girl interrupted, they gave the girls, they were in their pajamas. Guy flying drone gets arrested, pajamas. But when you get arrested, you get, when you go to prison or jail, I guess they give you a prison jumpsuit. So yeah, maybe I'll just the Before You Fly app said I could fly, I swear. Some crazy guy thought he could just fly in town. Yeah, so, you know, all joking aside, you know, check with the town, be sure you're good to go. But, you know, I'm more intimidated with the fact that I had to do this. And it sort of takes away the confidence because I went back and scouted the place to see where I could land, where I could take off. I'm like, oh, that's a cool shot. But it was done with a humble experience. I was like, you know, I guess I can't go there. I was a little bit nervous. Like, what if I get caught, you know, flying over that building? So this permit process takes away the freedom that you normally have when you're flying your drone with just your Part 107 and the police are like, you know, have fun, just be careful, which is what they did in another town when I went to shoot with the fireworks for the 4th of July. The cops were closed off the street. They came over. They were like, hey, how's it going? What you got there? They're like, oh, we have the Enterprise and this and that. And they're like, you know, they were just shooting the shit about drones. And they're like, hey, if you need anything, just let us know. But that experience is not going to happen all the time. And then you go to another town where they show up, as you see in the picture again, you know, they're just waiting for you to like do something wrong so that they got a reason to fine you. So, you know, it takes you're going to have two different experiences, and maybe there's that gray area too. I'm not sure what that gray area is, but, you know, you guys could share with me what you think. But, you know, enough talking. Let's go to Westwood. There we go. All right. Yeah, so we're on our way. We've got like 11 minutes left, as you can see on the GPS. 9:20 is my arrival, and it's a nice drive. It's a little bit congested because of the morning commute, but I'm hoping that commute will have left the town because, you know, my goal is to be there when it's not busy, and plus it just rained, which is great, which means that you know, sky might be the limit. So we're here at the police station. It's beautiful and sunny. And I'm just gonna hand in some paperwork so that everything's done by the book. But you can never be by the book when they write the book, right? Because it can be rewritten tomorrow, and before you know it, this becomes obsolete because we changed those rules yesterday. So, like they say in the movies,
I'll be back.
So it wasn't so bad. Left them a copy of the letter. You know, they're like, we appreciate it, you letting us know, which is great, you know, because they want to know. You know, this is their town, and they don't want. Some towns just don't like people coming in and going rogue with the drone. Even though you are allowed to, even though you don't need their permission, like you don't have to do what I just did, but just out of common courtesy, because you know you want to come back, you don't want to be that guy. So there's two versions of the guy that just, you know, does whatever, and you know, the guy that just is courteous, and who knows, I might want another permit, you know, and might not take 30 days. They might because remember, there's a time limit on the permit, so the permit only lasts 30 days. But it's been raining on and off for the last 30 days, and I'm hoping that traffic-wise, it's going to be okay. The train station is really beautiful. I'm just holding on to my paperwork. My permit says I can fly. Yeah, so I actually chose to fly here because I kind of like, I'll just point the camera that way, the way the train station is. You'll see it better from the aerial view, but all that excitement and Easter egg hunting of, you know, trying to figure out where to go and where to take off from, it kind of goes out the window when you know, when they make you go through the loops and hoops just to fly, where you would normally just pack and fly. You know, you pack your bag, you go, you fly your flight plan, launch the app, take a picture, 1, 2, 3, and then you just leave and done. But, you know, I could say I feel the sun is actually that way. I can feel a little bit nervous, well, which is great because the sun is actually going to be shining on the what I'm actually trying to photograph. All right, so let's get set up and see how it goes. Make sure everything is set with the before you fly app, and let's see.
Has been updated. Please check it
Home
on the
point
map.
is updated, and I'm ready to go. All right, so let's get this thing up in the air. So yeah, it wasn't so bad. I mean, it was fair. I have to say, I hear the Bon Jovi song, Living on a Prayer. That's how it kind of feels when you're flying in a town that has these really strict rules and ordinances where you got permission to fly, but you can only fly within that little circle. Don't leave the forbidden zone. But it was nice. I could say it brought me back to the days when I first started flying drones, when you get nervous. I like, oh shit, my nerves. And normally when you fly, you know, if you after many months or years of flying, you develop that confidence, and you're like, I'll just fly this town. But I didn't have that here. I was more nervous and worried that I was being watched and someone waiting for me to fly over an area that I wasn't supposed to fly over. Because I'll leave a link to the description down below about Glenrock's drone ordinance, and not Glenrock, Westwood's drone ordinance, and it's pretty strict when it comes to flying over buildings, over people's properties, etc. Originally, they had a rule where you could not fly below 400 feet, right? How do you do that? I guess, I don't know, you get a waterproof drone and then you can just go below. Anyway, so it's really strict, and you can fly here now as long as you get the permit. And the question is, do you want to? I was able to get some really nice shots of the train station, which I'll share with you, so that you guys can see. And I may come back, I might not come back. I don't have that level of confidence where the next town I'm going to go to, I'll just fly it. I'll just rip this town, and they're okay with it. They're like, okay, that's fine. Just be careful. When the cops in town are like that, it's great. You don't have an oh shit moment with your drone. Like I'm like, oh my god, where's my drone? Where am I? And that happened a few times, and it never does. I always know where my drone is. I guess I was more panic stricken with the experience of getting a prison jumpsuit opposed to being left in my pajamas. Anyway, on that note, I hope this video helped you and you're better able to understand what it's like to fly in a town that requires you to have a permit. And on that note, let me know what you think. Permit, no permit. Would you rip the town with the permit or without the permit? I did fly, it was good, but I'm going to fly in the next town without that fear and nerve-wracking experience that comes with flying with a permit. Anyway, hope to see you all and next time.